Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. In this video, we'll be continuing on with the educational series, How to Build an Online Business with the MyListing WordPress theme. As we've done throughout this series, we'll use the MyListing project template as our guide. The project template can be found by going to the MyListing Club website at mylisting.club. Once you're there, just scroll down the home page a little bit and click on the MyListing project template card. This page is going to walk you through what this template is all about. You're also going to get a first-hand look at this template in this video here, and all the videos from the previous videos from this educational series. You can get your hands on this template by clicking the Buy Now button. If you purchase a starter site from me, I will get you a copy of it whenever you want. If you want ongoing changes to the template, you can sign up to be an Ultimate member and get it that way. Another way is if you are a care plan client. Again, just ask for it and I will shoot you over a copy of it. At the very top here, you'll see the versions that I have tested the template up to, and not just tested, but I've covered it up to these versions. 99% of the time, it's always going to be the latest versions of WordPress, MyListing, and Elementor Pro. I've got it covered pretty much right away. And then you can see at the bottom here the change log of all the things I'm adding to this quite often. Okay, I'll go ahead and close this down. And here we are looking at the back end of the project template, and where we left off, we are still in the MyListing column. I'm going to probably be adding a bit more to this before we finally call it a day on the MyListing column. Where we are at now is the Add Listing page, and that's what we're going to cover in this particular video. It may not seem like enough to cover, to have a whole video about, but I think you'll see that it is once we're done here. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it here. Here I've got a clean MyListing website. There's hardly anything on it, just bare bones stuff. A few of the core plugins that I use. No pages, no listings, no listing types. We're just starting from scratch here. Okay. So the Add Listing page, this is one of the core pages for MyListing websites. It's responsible for the Add Listing flow, I say in air quotes, including the MyListing pricing tables and the submit form. I say the flow in air quotes because a lot of times people will ask me, can I change this, this, and this with the Add Listing process? And I always refer to it as the Add Listing flow. It's the choose your listing type, choose your package, checkout, all that sort of thing. Okay. So first off, we need the page, right? So let's go ahead and we will create this page. So pages, add new. We'll just call this Add Listing. You can call this whatever you want. If you import one of the demos from the MyListing developers, I think they call it Add a Listing. So you can call this whatever you want. The key is just to have the widget that makes all of this run added to the page, which we'll get to here in a second. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and publish this page. A pro tip here is if you have an SEO plugin, I would highly recommend excluding this from search engine crawling. So keep it out of your sitemap, keep the search engines from knowing this page exists. And the reason you want to do that is because it could actually hurt you more than help you. There's no SEO benefit to having this page indexed. Okay. The other thing, any page on your MyListing website that has little or no content and definitely no SEO value, just exclude it from search engines. There's a thing called crawl budget, and search engines have only a certain amount of it. So if they come to your site and you've got tons of listings you want them to index, or pages or posts, if you've got these other pages that have no SEO value, they might crawl those and not get through your other pages. So definitely want to exclude those from the search engines. Okay, so we've got our page added. We're just going to go ahead and click Edit with Elementor. In the search box over here in the Elementor panel, we're just going to do a search for Add, and we're going to drag the 27 Add Listing Form widget to the page. Okay. First step here is the card size. So this controls what I call the listing type flipping boxes. So to see these in action, let's actually go and create a couple listing types. So listing types, add new. Let's add one more. Okay, let's then refresh our add listing page so those will be able to show up here. Click add item, and we're going to just choose both of our listing types here. So LT1, LT2, and there they are in there. So you see why I call them flipping boxes. So they're just flipping there. So card size is regular. That's the default setting. You can make them smaller. So you see they shrink, and large, obviously they get larger. So depending on how many listing types you have show up there, just play with it a little bit to see what works there. So you'll notice that, like I said, one of the settings is for card size, but you're pretty much limited to the settings within this widget that makes this whole page work. Without custom CSS, you're pretty much out of luck regarding the design of these flipping boxes. So if we look at these boxes on the front end, so we're just viewing our add listing page on the front end. Without CSS, you're limited in what you can do to these as far as color. See how they're both black there? So if we go to theme tools, theme options, general accent, our accent color is black here. Let's set that to red and refresh our page. See, it doesn't do anything, right? What if we edit the widget and set some colors in here? Let's do blue, and then let's do green. See, there's nothing there. If we inspect each of these, so we see that showing where's the back side. So this is the back side. So this is the back side. When you hover over it, you see the back side is a background color of black. So if we look at our theme options, we don't have that set. We don't have that set anywhere that color should be pulling from. Yeah, I don't know where that would pull from. But if you know CSS, you can go in here and really easy, like I said, right click on that, go to the back side here, change this to whatever, red, hover over that, there you go. Now they're both red, but you can get creative and you can come in here. So let's just grab all of this here. Let's go to theme options. This is not, by the way, this is not how I prefer to add custom code to my listing websites. Definitely check out the deal for WP Code Box. That is what I recommend. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it the right way, what I call the right way. So let's go to WP Code Box. Let's just add a new snippet. Let's call this CSS for the purposes of this video. We're going to change the type to CSS. External file. We're going to load in the footer. All of this is for optimization purposes. This is getting a little outside of what we're supposed to be covering here, but I think it's important. And for this, I'll even show you this. For best optimization, we don't want to run this everywhere on our website. We want to choose custom, open the conditions builder, add a condition, and we want to say when the current post is add listing, run this CSS that we're about to add. That is the best thing you can do for optimization. Do all the steps that I just did. The external file for rendering CSS allows the CSS file to actually be cached rather than if you were to do it inline. And then footer helps with optimization even more. Load it towards the bottom. And then the conditional builder, only load it where it's absolutely needed, which is in this case, add listing page. Okay, so we saw that we changed the background color to that red. So that's the CSS we need here. Okay. So if we save that and enable the snippet, let's refresh this page. Boom, boom, with just that easy. But now what if we wanted this second box to be purple or something like that? So let's do this purple color, okay? Problem is when you do that, you see they both change to purple. So here, if you know CSS, we're gonna take this, go back to our CSS, we're gonna make this one first child. That is a declaration that says the very first box on the left, make it red. And now for the second one, we do the same thing, but this time we do int child and then put 2 in brackets. That's saying the second box. Color it differently. Okay, so we're making it that purple color. Let's save. Refresh. There you go. Oh, that one should be red. I'm not sure why that one's not red. Maybe we throw an important declaration at it. Why is first child not working? Let's do it this way. Let's take out first child. We'll apply it to all. This is definitely getting outside of the scope of this video, but who cares? Let's refresh here. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not taking. It should. It's being overwritten. Let's do an important here again. There we go. Nope, it's red again. So the important is really dangerous with CSS. You got to be really careful because it applies to so many things. Let's put this at the bottom here. Another thing with CSS is called cascading style sheets, which means the one that loads last is the one that takes precedence. It does depend, like if it has the important declaration, but yeah. Anyway, I'm getting way outside the scope of this, but it's absolutely 1000% doable where you can make these boxes individual colors. I'm just brain farting on which one it is right now. Anyway, very easy to do. If I outside this video, I can do it. If you guys have any questions about that. So anyway, I'll take all this out for now. But you can see, otherwise, you have no other options here. These colors don't take hold. There's no way to apply an individual style to each box. So it's kind of what you got there. What else can I say on this? That's about it. So personally, I ignore this altogether. So all this tinkering we're doing, I ignore all this, and I do custom pages for this. I do get started pages for this. So let me show you an example here. So this is a custom get started page, but the part of this page I want you to see is this down here. So this is all built with Elementor. All these templates are available in the club, but this is all the same thing. It's just the link is the important part, the underlying link. That is the important part. So if we were to click on this, this is the link that's really important. Add listing / listing _ type equals, and then the slug of your listing type. That's the important part. Okay, so same here. If I was to click on this LT1, look at the link. It's the same. Add listing / listing _ type equals LT1. That's all you need. As long as you have this link, you can apply it to anything. A button, a CTA, which is an Elementor CTA, which is what I've done here. That's the key. And then you get away from this page here. You don't even have to mess with it. Okay? So when you do that, then your call to action, which we're going to look at here in a second, your call to action button, if you use that, would be call to action to this get started page. Just skip the add listing page altogether. Now, you still need the add listing page. That still has to be built in the back end. It just isn't referenced on the front end. Okay, so something to keep in mind there. Like I said, if you do a custom get started page, you can call the page whatever you want. It doesn't have to be get started. You have total design freedom and the ability to easily add other functionality to the page. Otherwise, yeah, you need CSS skills and possibly other skills depending on what you want those boxes to do or how they want them to function. If you want to add any special functions. Okay. Next up, let's edit this again. So we talked about the card size, and we've got the listing types in there. Form section animation. So let me go ahead and I'll actually just show you this. So if you go, let's create a package here. Just so we have something in here. So listing package. Just make it free, publish, refresh our add listing page. Here we go. Let's go back to our listing type, LT1. Let's just add a couple sections just so we can see how this thing transitions. So we've got a title in there. Let's go ahead and do a another form heading. We'll call this second section. And we'll put another field in here. Doesn't matter what it is. Let's refresh that. Go back to our add listing page. Let's choose this package. Now, you know what we need to make? Let's make this form longer. So let's do another form heading. Just add a bunch of random fields in here. Okay, beef up these sections a little bit. Okay, let's see what that does for us. There you go. So you see when we transition into those sections, you can see it kind of the previous section fades out and then the other one comes into view. So I personally don't like that. And a lot of people ask for that to be disabled. And on top of it, it's a little bit of a performance hit. You know, everything adds up. An animation is a performance hit. So that's a little less of a concern here, but you know, all the performance you can get counts. I just like to turn that off. So if you just go here and toggle that off and save. So now you'll see when we transition between the sections, it's just a straight, it just goes and goes and goes. It's wholly up to you. It's just personal preference. I feel like in the past I ran into issues with it. I can't recall what those were. I haven't used it in so long. So I just stick with the straight form. Okay. What else do we have? Listing types. We've got that in there. We've got our listing types. We talked about the animations. Package selection step. So by default, it's going to assume that you have three packages. So what these are, these are package layouts, like it says. So what the MyListing developers have done is they've pre-designed what this should look like. Should you choose 3 or should you choose 4 packages? You could even choose no packages here. Okay. So for the 3 and the 4 package layout, we'll call them columns. They've predetermined what that's going to look like. Now, in my experience with the 4 column, especially, is that it's typically not set it and forget it. So let me go ahead and let's see, how can I show you this? Go back here. Let's do another couple packages. Bear with me for a second here while I'm going to create 4 packages. Okay, let's refresh our add listing page here. Not sure why those didn't come across. Probably because we have no layout chosen here. So let me go ahead and choose 3 just for fun, even though we have 4. Still only doing 2. Let's go to our listing type. Let's edit LT1. Let's choose our packages. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault. Yeah, I'm not such... Maybe I forgot to hit publish on these. Let's do publish, publish. There we go. Okay. Sorry, got ahead of myself there. Yeah, because that should be fine. So let's go ahead. Let's take off. Let's don't choose anything here, and let's see what happens. So still only showing 2. Let me make sure these are still published. Let me make sure these are actually listing packages. They're not. Sorry guys, I keep failing you here. 0. Let's make this a listing package. But the bright side is we get to see how to troubleshoot this stuff. All right, let's refresh again. There we go. So as we see here, you don't necessarily need to choose a package layout. So let's say you go with the default and you don't even know that setting is there. What happens? You've got 4 packages. Nothing. Let's do 4. What happens? That lines them up better. So pretty easy to do a 4-column package. Now it does depend what you add to the package. So if you go and let's edit one of these packages. Let's just edit this first one here, and let's just add some stuff. This is a long feature. This is a longer feature. This is the longest feature. Update. So you can see here how you can start to have problems with height and things like that. Again, this is getting out of scope at what I'm trying to show you here, but it's just things I want you to consider when you build this stuff out. You may need to throw some CSS at this to widen, to adjust the width of what's displayed here. I know I had to do that in the Fit Starter site. So I can show you that really quick. I had to throw just a little bit of CSS added to get the 4 columns to look right. Almost done. Bear with me for a second. Okay, here we go. So this is the new Fit Starter site, but it didn't fit all the way across. So I had to throw some CSS to widen this out just a little bit for it to display. So just something. It's something to keep in mind there. All right, what else? Let me get back on track here. So you've got 4 there. The other thing is, what if we add a 5th? So you see, it does. You only have so much real estate, as you guys know, like height and width. So it can only do so much. So you could fit all 5 of these on the page. You could fit more than this on the page. You just have to use CSS. The other thing to consider is when you do mobile, whether they stack, how they look on an iPad, things of that nature. But again, we're getting a little outside Not totally though, but a little bit outside of what I wanted to cover in this video. But if you do the custom get starting page, then you have total freedom. Much easier to design for mobile responsiveness with CSS, more functionality, more design, all the above. That's why I highly recommend a custom get started page, or like I said, you can name it whatever the heck you want. Just have that underlying ad listing page set up, and this page will just be completely ignored. Okay. So we talked about the layouts and possibly needing some CSS. If you are going with even if you're not going with this, but let's just say you are, in theme tools, theme options, header, you'll see there's a call to action button that you see on a lot of MyListing websites. And let's just say that, so it's off, we toggle it on. We choose the button label, which is add listing in this case, and then we want to choose our add listing page here. Okay, so if we look at the front end of the site now, we should see a button in the top right hand corner that says add listing, and there it is. So that's going to bring us right back to the add listing page. If you create a custom page like the get started page that I showed you, all you would do then, if you're using the default MyListing header, you would just choose that page in here. That's all you got to do. Just choose that as your call to action page. Or if you're using a custom Elementor header, you don't even need this section. You can just toggle this off, and then in your custom Elementor header, whether you use a button or a text link or like whatever you want to do, you just call your get started page your custom ad listing page. That's all you got to do. Okay. Again, just one more final time. You just have to build, no matter what, you have to build this page out and add your listing types to it. And a bit of a pro tip, if you've inherited a MyListing site or you've installed a demo and maybe even you have just tweaked some stuff with your listing type names and whatnot. A lot of people don't know that this even exists, but the name of your listing type is, it's pretty obvious, but if you go under screen options and slug, sometimes this slug can get manipulated. Like people don't know what it is, or they tinker with it. Call this LT1 test, whatever. Update that. You've now broken all of the links for that listing type. So if I were to go to the ad listing page and refresh, this LT1 is going to disappear. It's gone. It's because it's broken. So you need to go back to your ad listing page and then click on this LT1 and then re-add it back in there. Actually, you need to refresh the whole page. Edit that widget, go back into LT1 and reselect it, and it's going to reactivate it there. Again, getting outside of what this video is about, but try not to mess with these slugs. You should never need to mess with these slugs for the most part, but just something to keep in mind. So if we change that back to LT1, that's obviously going to break again, but these should always match up, the name and the slug, which almost always match up, I should say. What else? That's really about it, guys. In the project template, I've got all of the narrative in there, and I've got all of the steps from creating the page to adjusting to, at the end, the call to action header button, if you're going to use that, or if you're going to use a custom Elementor header, set the link in there to your custom page. Okay. I hope this was helpful, and please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel so you know when my next video comes out, videos come out, and it helps me keep doing these videos for y'all, and yeah, hope all's well. Talk to you soon.